The man contacted his father from 30 years ago via radio. But his father did not believe what he was saying, and thought he was joking. Just as the two were arguing, his father's desk accidentally caught fire. Although his father quickly put out the fire, John noticed that the desk he had used for decades suddenly had burn marks on it. This made him even more certain that the other person was his deceased father. When his father heard that the other person knew about the burn marks on his desk, his first reaction was to think that the other person was hiding outside. And watching him, but when he looked out the window, he saw nothing. Even so, he still didn't believe that the other person was his son from the future, and warned him not to harm his family. Although John didn't know why this was happening, he still told his father that he would die in a fire, in an abandoned warehouse, tomorrow. Of course, his father didn't believe that there would be a fire tomorrow, but John fully believed in their transcendent conversation. To save his father's life, he recounted everything that happened in the fire, and told his father that if he found himself trapped in the fire, he should not make decisions based on instinct. A seemingly dangerous passageway might be his only way out. After he finished speaking, the signal gradually faded. His father fell into deep thought. John called out anxiously, but received no response. John told his best friend about this. His friend thought he was just missing his father too much. After all, it sounded pretty fantastical. When his father went to work at the fire station the next day, he discovered that the baseball game score was exactly as John had said the night before. As he was puzzled, the fire alarm suddenly sounded over the radio. It seemed like everything was unfolding exactly as John had described. Without giving it much thought, he followed his teammates to the scene. On the way, he still thought perhaps it was all a coincidence. When he arrived at the fire scene, he realized John had been telling the truth. Upon learning there were trapped people inside, he broke through the wall without hesitation. By then, the warehouse was engulfed in flames, with occasional violent explosions. Facing this situation, the other firefighters had no choice but to retreat. But the father refused to give up. Soon, he found the unconscious girl on the ground. Just as he was about to leave via the ladder, he realized the ladder was still a distance from the window and had malfunctioned. He had no choice but to find another way out. Looking at the corridor on one side engulfed in flames, and the corridor on the other side filled with thick smoke, he instinctively headed toward the corridor filled with smoke. Suddenly, he remembered John's warning from the night before. At that moment, he chose to believe John, and turned back toward the seemingly dangerous passageway, where he found a slide. He held the girl in his arms and slid down through the flames, successfully escaping to safety on the other side of the building. The passageway he had initially chosen exploded violently. At the same time, on the other side, John suddenly recalled a new memory. Those were memories of him and his father. John couldn't tell if it was real or not. He hurriedly asked his friend how his father had died. He was told that his father had died of cancer from smoking, and it had happened exactly 10 years ago. John couldn't believe it. The past had truly been altered by him.